Hey y'all, welcome back to Segments with ethnicity. So this video is going to be different today. This is actually I'm actually uploading this video for a psychology assignment. So if you do like content like this, feel free to comment down below, but make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe. So this is going to be the psychological disorders assignment number 2, and I'm just going to hop right in. If you see me looking off camera, it's because I'm looking at my notes and the questions online. So question number 1. How has your beliefs, ethnicity, race, religion, etc. affected your view of the world? How have you coped with their differences and similarities? What type of psychological challenges have you experienced as a result of this? So first, let me start by saying I'm a 26-year-old Black heterosexual female that lives in Detroit. So that's the basis of me. I am a Christian. I do also like concepts from other religions as well, like Hinduism, Buddhism, and I think that they all connect for a greater spiritual person. So my view of the world is quite interesting. I do live in a major city, and I'm Black, so I think that right now the world is definitely against Black people. And of course, they've always been against Black people, and I think right now it's just at a all-time high, seeing that we had Donald Trump as our president, and now we're transitioning into President Biden. But politics is a whole nother subject. But right now I feel like my views on the world is that there is no equality and there's no justice. However, there is equity. And what I mean by that is that, yes, we are all giving opportunity, but what we need to do to achieve that opportunity is not equal. And another reference for that is when you see people say #woke. So that's just something to think about. My view on the world is just like that it's super unfair. From having to get a college degree, paying all this money back, but they're forgiving business loans. I mean, that's just another example of how, being trapped in cycles is just, just hard, and it's unfair. But I think that I've coped with these differences kind of just by being alone and doing more research. I think that the psychological part that's come from it is definitely like isolation and helplessness. Not more of a mental isolation, but more so of a physical mix with the mental, because if you are so aware of, or you're cognizant of race issues when you go out. For instance, in my area, I don't really have that many grocery stores to shop at, so I have to shop in white areas. So technically we live in a food desert. So when you go to these white stores, what do you do with white people? And what white people come with, some are nice, some are racist. So I mean, that's just what you have to deal with as a person. Like, you have to shop in their areas because our areas are depleted. And it's not, it goes back to redlining and all that other stuff. Like, there's a lot of factors that contribute to that. So the isolation and helplessness, I think the helplessness is because I don't know what to do as an individual. Like, do you ever feel like you're doing enough? Like, how can you help your community? What can you do? Yes, I can go protest, but what is that doing? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm protesting and I'm with 20,000 other Black people, I need to be protesting to the oppressors, which are the white people. I mean, it's just simple, but whatever. So question number 2 is, what are some incorrect assumptions that people have made about you? And what have you made of others? So I think that assumptions are definitely a 50-50 thing. I definitely think that assumptions are needed for survival. And what I mean by that is assumptions and instincts are, I don't want to say one and the same, but they're highly similar. If I'm at the gas station and someone is coming towards me, I'm going to assume that they're a threat, and therefore I need to take the precautions to protect myself, you know. So that's why I say that assumptions are, in a sense, for survival. Or you know how people say don't judge a book by its cover. Excuse me, but why wouldn't I? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm judged by my cover every day. I'm a Black girl. She has the attitude, she's rude, she's this and that, but in reality I'm just direct, I'm educated, and I'm alert, like, you know. But I'm labeled all of these other things because that's what society, or that's what the oppressors want you to be labeled as. So I've definitely assumed things about other people. As I said, that's how I survive. I live in a major city. If I don't make assumptions about people, how am I going to continue to live? Not all assumptions are good assumptions, but you have to make them in order to survive. And I think that one thing with assumptions is that you have to draw the line at convenience and what's a true assumption. Like, are you assuming something to like decrease the population, or are you assuming to better the population? And what I mean by that, like an example is the officer that assumed that she was pulling her taser out but pulled her gun out. She assumed, you know, but was it for convenience or was it for something else? Anyway, question number 3 states, in response to rioting occurring across the country, what types of thoughts, emotion, fears, anxieties, if any, are you or people you know experiencing? So as you can see, I'm a Black female. I date a Black male. I definitely have anxiety when he's not home, when he's out, when he's driving, when he's with his friends, just because of the murders of Black men that happen. Like, it's not an intentional anxiety, but it's definitely subconscious because of police brutality, the rioting, and things like that. You know, we definitely have a right to free speech as Americans, but and this goes back to the equality and the justice. We don't have justice for when things are not in our favor. And that also connects back to convenience. Like, what's convenient for the oppressors isn't convenient for us as a minority. So yeah, I definitely fear. I actually don't fear much of anything, but I definitely have anxieties or worries towards, you know, you worry about being the next topic, you know. Like, of course, if I'm dead, I wouldn't know, you know, I'm dead, you know, but, you know, you worry about what could be, and that's only because we see what's going on. And I think that one thing about, you know, being a 26-year-old and being a millennial, like my generation, we're not standing for these microaggressions that's happening. We're not standing for working for companies that are against us and our development and furthering ourselves. If the company can't benefit us, we're not going to work for the company. And that's something that I truly love about my generation, because we're going to make it work for us. And that's definitely different than older generations. We're definitely going to work smarter and rather than harder. And I think we use social media to educate us, which is, you know, definitely a big ups for my generation. I actually wanted to add to the psychological challenges and to the anxiety. Like, although anxiety is not specifically attributed to like an object situation specifically, but it's those like free-floating worries that come about. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for watching. Again, this is my psychological disorders assignment 2. Yeah, so, but again, if you like content like this, feel free to comment down below, and I'll definitely make, you know, weekly posts about social problems, or how I think or deal with a certain situation, or how do you feel. If you know, I definitely want this to be an educational platform as well, not just for nails and hair, but, you know, we can definitely talk about race. I like to talk about race because it's so uncomfortable. You know, people get very uncomfortable when you talk about these type of things, so I love it. So thanks again, guys.